Hey, good morning, Gators. It is Thursday, May 7th, and here is your math for today. First off, with our daily math review, we are starting out with a little fraction division. Now, this one could be a little difficult for you if you don't remember what to do, but I will show you one quick little thing here. And when we do these, remember, we actually have to change this to a multiplication problem. So it's going to change to 9 and 5/9 times 9 over 1. So we change this to multiplication, and then we flip this around to 9 over 1, and then we do our multiplication straight across on that. Now on number 2, just doing some multiplication. Now this is a larger number to multiply, but the steps are the same that we have been doing. So make sure that you are showing your work, not just using your calculator. We're on to you guys. Be sure to show your work in so we can see how you did that. Number 3, if two angles of a triangle measure 45 degrees and 71 degrees, what is the measure of the third angle? Remember, on a triangle, all three sides, when you add them all up, is going to equal 180 degrees. So you want to make sure and use that information to help you out. Number 4, you are just labeling these on the number line. And then number 5, a rancher has 500 cattle grazing in the pasture. When his cowhand rides into the pasture on horseback to round up the cattle, how many legs are now in the pasture? Now, this is kind of a riddle, so Miss Matthews will like this. But again, how many? Whoops. Let's get to the right color. There. Oh man, this is crazy today. How many legs are in the pasture? So how many legs total are in the pasture? Now on our daily word problem, it's saying Hanai builds wooden tables. Every tabletop she makes has a polygon with sides of equal length. Hanai makes 3 tables shaped like this. The perimeter of each table is 126. What are the sides, or what are the side lengths of each table? So remember, on each of these, make sure to see how many sides there are, and it tells you how much, or how the total perimeter. There we go. There's the right word that you have. Now, next up, as I'm loading up our PowerPoint for the math, I want to make sure to remind you guys to do your best on this. It is not something that is meant to be difficult, but we want to make sure that you guys are trying and asking for help as we go. All right, now on to the math for today. We are doing 15.3, which is inequalities and the number line. Now you might ask what an inequality is, but I promise you, you already actually know what these are. We just don't really call them that. Our thing is saying, how can you graph an inequality? An inequality is a mathematical sentence that contains one of the symbols greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So those are two symbols that you probably have not seen before. This one right here and this one, which we're going to go over in a minute. A solution of an inequality is any number that makes the inequality true. You can graph the solutions of an inequality such as x is greater than 3 on a number line. And how can you graph x is greater than 3? So we're going to go over that. First off, we would draw our number line and we would have an open circle at 3. The open circle shows that the 3 is not included in the solution. And I'm going to go over that here in a second as to the difference between an open and the closed circle when we are looking at this. And then we are going to locate the solutions of x is greater than 3 on the number line. Start with the open circle and then shade a thick line over the numbers. Shade the arrows to show that there are infinitely many solutions. So on here, one thing I do want to point out, if you notice, this is x is greater than 3. Here is our open circle, and our line is going this way. Now, if you notice, our symbol is pointing to the right and our arrow is pointing to the right. So there's one big hint on something that's going to help you with this. Now we have these two signs, greater than, and these are things that we have seen, for quite a while now. We have the signs here, greater than and less than. Now greater than, when it's just greater than, when it's only saying greater than here, it's going to be just the arrow, and we're going to put an open line, and it's going to go this way. Less than is an open arrow, and it's going to go to the left. So again, greater than, less than, open circle, and the arrow is pointing to the direction that it is going. Now, when we had those greater than or equal to and less than or equal to, it changes a little. So this is showing greater than or equal to. That's what that line underneath it. Now, the way to think about this is it's kind of like greater than plus an equal sign is going to get us that. When you see the line underneath it, it's going to be a closed circle, and the arrow is still going to go to the right. Less than or equal to is the exact opposite, where it's going to be less than or equal to, and again, it's going to have a closed circle going to the left. So the big difference is this line here is going to tell you if it's open or closed circle. Now, how can we graph this? This is saying y plus 5 is less than or equal to 12. So it's saying what number plus 5 is less than or equal to 12. So one way we can solve this is what we've been doing the past few days is y plus 5 is 12 right here. That's what this is asking. And if we were to subtract 5 from each side, we would get 7. So 12 is going to equal 12. So therefore y is going to equal 7. But remember, it's asking us to graph y plus 5 is less than or equal to 12. So when we do this, we're actually going to put our closed circle, because again, remember, there's our answer. Closed circle over the 7. Let me change my color of the pen. Closed circle over 7, and it's going to go to the right because this is directed towards the right. Now, let's look at a couple here. It says, name 3 solutions of each inequality, then graph. So C is less than 5. So we got to think of 3 numbers that are less than 5. Well, why not just do 1, 2, and 3? Are those less than 5? I think so. And it's saying to graph it as less than 5. So I'm going to make my number line. And I'm going to start here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's just saying less than. Remember, if it's not less than or equal to, the circle is going to be open. So I'm going to do my open circle, and it's pointing to the left. And I'm going to do that. But I did something wrong. Am I going to have the open circle on 5? No, I'm not. So make sure you guys understand that it is not on 5 because it is not saying equal to. So actually, my open circle can be right here on the 3 and going this way. It could be on the 2. It could be on the 1. It could be on 4.99999 as long as it is not equal to 5. Now let's look at this one here. It's saying m is less than or equal to 12, or sorry, greater than or equal to 12. So 3 numbers that are greater than or equal to 12. I could say 12, 13, and 14, because remember, this 12 does work because it says equal to. And again, I'm going to make my number line. I'm going to start it over at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And this time I am going to be able to close the dot on the 12 because it's saying greater than or equal to, and I'm going to draw it to the right. So that is that for the teaching part. Remember, you guys are able to watch this multiple times, so please watch it multiple times if you need to. On your assignment for today, you need to finish 3 and 4. I already did 1 and 2 for you, so your job is to finish 3 and 4. And then we are going to start our practice here. On 7 through 14, it is the same that we were just doing, where we are naming 3 solutions of each inequality, then graph each inequality on a number line. And then 15 through 26 is our normal story problems. So that is it for our math today. Today I can understand if you struggle a little bit, but that is okay because that is making us better. If you need help, be sure to reach out to your teacher. And if they need help, they'll reach out to me and then I will contact you guys. But that is it for today. Remember, as always, Gators, it's great to be a Gator.